Did you know there's a spiritual blueprint for turning your desires into reality? Jacobo Grinberg, the groundbreaking consciousness researcher, discovered profound insights into how the universe responds to our thoughts and intentions. His work uncovers a step-by-step process to align your mind, energy, and actions to manifest anything you desire. In this video, we'll break down Grinberg's spiritual blueprint and reveal how you can use it to unlock limitless potential in your life. Stick around till the end. These revelations might just transform the way you manifest forever. Let's get started. Number 1. Understand and harness the power of consciousness. Sure, let's dive into the concept of understanding and harnessing the power of consciousness. We've all heard it, consciousness is the key to unlocking everything we want in life. But what does that really mean? Consciousness isn't just some abstract term. It's the lens through which we experience and interact with the world. Every thought, feeling, and perception we have is filtered through our consciousness. It's our inner landscape, the invisible force that shapes our reality. Think of it as the stage where the drama of your life unfolds. The more aware you are of how your consciousness operates, the more control you have over the direction of your life. Here's where it gets interesting. Your consciousness isn't static. It's fluid. It shifts and flows with your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. And if you can learn to tune into it, you can begin to direct that flow in ways that serve you. This means understanding that your thoughts aren't just fleeting ideas, they are powerful creators. Every belief you hold, every assumption you make about the world, is a manifestation in the making. If your mind is constantly in a state of lack, doubt, or negativity, your consciousness will mirror that. Conversely, if you intentionally focus on abundance, possibility, and confidence, your consciousness aligns with that energy. The trick isn't just about thinking positive thoughts or hoping for the best. It's about understanding the subtle ways in which your consciousness is always at work, even when you aren't consciously aware of it. The power lies in the moment-to-moment choices you make about where you place your attention. You can choose to focus on what's missing in your life, or you can choose to direct your attention to the abundance already around you. The more consciously you make these choices, the more you start to direct the flow of energy in your life. But here's something to keep in mind. Just like any skill, harnessing the power of consciousness takes practice. It's not like flipping a switch where suddenly everything falls into place. It's more like training your mind to be a more effective tool for creation. In the beginning, it might feel like you're forcing it, like you're trying to steer a ship with no clear map. But over time, you develop a sense of rhythm. You begin to sense the energy of your thoughts and emotions more clearly. You start to recognize how your inner state is shaping the outer world. And when you get really good at this, your consciousness starts to work for you instead of against you. When you learn to harness this power, your sense of self transforms. You become someone who is deeply in tune with your inner landscape, understanding how to shift your mindset and energy to match the life you want to create. The world doesn't feel like something happening to you anymore. Instead, you begin to realize that you're a participant in the unfolding of your reality. This doesn't mean you control everything. Life, after all, has its ebb and flow. But by learning to consciously direct your attention and intentions, you open up a space for greater alignment with your desires. It's about working with the natural flow of consciousness instead of against it. Your internal state and your external world begin to resonate in harmony, creating opportunities, synchronicities, and experiences that might have once seemed out of reach. So, the first step is awareness, becoming aware of your consciousness, your thoughts, and your emotions. The second step is learning how to consciously influence them, knowing that the more you direct your attention, the more you shape your reality. Harnessing the power of consciousness isn't some mystical, unattainable skill. It's something that, with practice and awareness, becomes second nature. And once you master it, you'll find that you are no longer a passive observer of life. You become an active creator, co-creating the world you desire. Number 2, recognize the interconnectedness of all things. Recognizing the interconnectedness of all things isn't just some abstract concept, it's an experience, a shift in how we view the world. When you start to tune into this truth, it's like realizing that everything around you, from the smallest grain of sand to the vast expanse of the stars, is connected in ways you probably never noticed before. It's almost as if the universe is a giant web, and each action you take, each thought you have, sends a ripple through the entire structure, touching things you might not even be able to see. The first step in really embracing this interconnectedness is to start questioning the idea of separation. We've been taught for so long to view ourselves as isolated entities, cut off from the flow of the world, standing apart from others. But if you look deeper, you'll see that this view is kind of limiting, isn't it? The idea that you and the person next to you are totally separate, that you're each living entirely different realities, doesn't quite hold up when you really dig into it. Think about it. How many times do you feel a subtle shift in your mood after someone else enters the room? Or maybe you notice that when you act with kindness, it somehow seems to spark the same in others? It's as if, in those moments, you're tuned into something bigger than just your personal world. You feel a connection, almost an invisible thread pulling you toward others. This isn't just coincidence, it's part of the intricate web of existence. The energy you give out has a direct impact on what's returned to you, even if it's not immediately obvious. When Jacobo Grinberg spoke about interconnectedness, he wasn't just talking about the physical world, but also the spiritual realm. Everything, whether tangible or intangible, is interwoven, and this web holds the key to manifesting what you desire. It's like learning to tune your frequency to the broader vibrations of the universe. When you understand that your thoughts, intentions, and actions are constantly interacting with the fabric of existence, you begin to realize how powerful you really are. It's not just about understanding the idea intellectually, it's about embodying it in every fiber of your being. The more you acknowledge this interconnectedness, the more you start to realize that what you do affects more than just your own life. It touches everyone and everything. So, when you start to align your thoughts and actions with your desires, you're not doing it in isolation. You're tapping into a network that stretches across time and space. And then there's the whole matter of energy. Every thought, every emotion, every intention carries energy, whether it's positive or negative. And this energy isn't contained within you alone. It radiates outward, creating waves that move through the space around you. Think of it like throwing a stone into a pond. The stone might hit one spot, but the ripples spread out, touching areas you couldn't have imagined. Similarly, when you channel your energy positively and with purpose, you align yourself with the flow of the universe, opening doors that might have seemed closed before. It's also worth noting that the law of attraction plays into this understanding. When you truly believe that everything is connected, you begin to see how your thoughts attract similar energies. If you're constantly thinking in terms of lack, fear, or scarcity, those energies will find their way back to you, almost like they're magnetized. But if you shift your thinking, focusing on abundance, gratitude, and possibility, you start to attract more of those positive frequencies. Your thoughts are no longer isolated events but part of a much larger cycle, creating a continuous loop of energy that fuels your manifestation process. This interconnectedness is also why gratitude becomes such a powerful tool. When you're grateful, you're not just appreciating what you already have, you're acknowledging the web of energy that has brought those things to you. You're aware that you are a part of something much bigger, and in doing so, you're reinforcing the flow of abundance and positivity. Gratitude is like sending a signal out to the universe that says, "I understand how this all fits together, and I am grateful for the abundance flowing my way." So, when you're manifesting anything, remember that it's not about forcing the world to bend to your will. It's about syncing with the natural flow of the universe and understanding that every action you take, every thought you have, is a thread in that web. The more you recognize this interconnectedness, the more effortless the process of manifestation becomes. You're no longer working against the current but riding the wave that's already there, supporting you every step of the way. Number 3. Utilize focused intention for manifestation. When it comes to manifestation, one of the most powerful tools at your disposal is focused intention. This isn't just about thinking positive thoughts or casually wishing for something to happen. It's about channeling your energy and attention with laser precision. It's the kind of focus that comes from a deep sense of purpose, where every thought, every feeling, and every action aligns with your goal. Think of it like this: manifestation is like planting a seed, but your focused intention is the sunlight and water that nourishes that seed, helping it to grow into something real. Now, focusing your intention isn't as easy as just wishing for something. It requires effort, discipline, and an understanding of how your mind works. The key here is that focused intention goes beyond the surface-level desires or fleeting thoughts that we often have. It's about truly connecting with the core of what you want to manifest, feeling it deeply in your being. If your heart isn't in it, or if you're distracted by other thoughts, your intentions become scattered, and the energy you're putting out into the world lacks the strength to make anything happen. To really harness the power of focused intention, you need to first create clarity. This means being absolutely certain about what it is you want. The clearer your vision, the stronger your focus becomes. If you're unclear, your intention becomes like a foggy signal that can easily be ignored by the universe. But when you're crystal clear, it's like broadcasting a strong signal that the universe can hear and respond to. It's not just about setting an intention and letting it sit in the back of your mind either. Focused intention means that you actively engage with your goal on a daily basis. This can be through visualization, where you see yourself already having achieved what you desire. It could also mean saying affirmations that align with your goal, or taking small steps toward it every day. It's the act of putting in mental, emotional, and sometimes even physical energy into the things you want to manifest. But here's the thing about focused intention that many people miss: it's not just about what you do in the moment. It's about maintaining that focus consistently, even when things don't seem to be working out. We've all been there. You set a goal, you focus on it, and then nothing happens, and it's easy to get discouraged. But true manifestation requires patience. The key is to keep the focus steady, even when you're not seeing immediate results. Trusting the process is a huge part of it. In fact, the more you let go of the how and just focus on the end result, the quicker things tend to move. One thing that helps with this kind of sustained focus is learning to quiet the mind. The more chaotic your thoughts, the harder it is to keep your intention focused. This is where meditation or mindfulness can be incredibly helpful. By practicing mindfulness, you train your mind to stay present, which makes it easier to channel your energy into what matters most. You stop being distracted by external noise and inner chatter, and you create a mental space where focused intention can thrive. Another aspect of focused intention is being in alignment with your desire. This means that your actions, thoughts, and emotions should all support your intention. If you're constantly thinking about how difficult it is to manifest your goal, or if you're acting in ways that contradict your desires, your energy becomes fragmented. It's like trying to send a message with a broken phone. It's hard for the universe to hear you clearly. But when you're aligned, when everything from your energy to your mindset to your actions is consistent with your intention, that's when manifestation becomes powerful. It's like a spark that ignites a fire, fueling the process forward. So, don't just set your intention and forget about it. Keep that focus sharp, stay aligned, and watch as your desires begin to unfold. Number 4. Cultivate self-awareness and presence. Alright, let's dive into this powerful idea of cultivating self-awareness and presence. It sounds simple enough, right? But when you really start to explore it, you realize that it's one of the most transformative tools you have at your disposal. So, what does it mean to be truly self-aware and present? It's not just about knowing your thoughts or your feelings, it's about understanding how they shape your experience. It's about feeling your energy in your state of mind, moment by moment, without getting caught up in the mental noise. When you are self-aware, you're not just reacting to life as it happens, you're observing it, almost from the outside in. You notice your thoughts without identifying with them, you recognize your emotions without getting lost in them. In that space of awareness, there's a certain freedom. You realize you have a choice in how you respond, how you perceive, and ultimately, how you create your experience. But here's the kicker, the magic doesn't really happen in the future or the past. It happens right now. You could have all the knowledge in the world, but if you're stuck in your head, constantly thinking about what might happen next or what happened before, you're missing the point. The key to unlocking your potential, your ability to manifest, is to be fully present. Presence isn't just about being physically in a place, it's about being mentally there too. Think of it as focusing your energy on the here and now. When you're present, you're not distracted by the endless stream of thoughts. You're not thinking about what happened yesterday or stressing about tomorrow. You're fully engaged in the moment, with all your senses open. It's like tuning a radio to the right frequency so you can hear exactly what's being broadcast. Self-awareness feeds into presence. When you are truly aware of yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your body, you can drop the stories that tend to play out in your head. You stop being a passive participant in your thoughts and start being the active observer. And that's where the power lies. You see things as they are, not through the lens of judgment or assumption. You just experience what's happening, moment by moment. But how does this translate into manifesting? It's simple. When you are fully present, you're in a state of flow. You're aligned with the energy around you, and that alignment creates the space for things to manifest. When you're constantly thinking about what you don't have or what you think you need, you're not present, you're in a state of lack. But when you're fully present, you understand that everything you need is already available to you. You're no longer fighting against the current, you're flowing with it. And here's the thing about being present, it's not about forcing your mind to stop. It's not about trying to clear your head or forcing yourself to focus. It's about allowing yourself to simply be with whatever arises in your consciousness. The more you practice presence, the more you create space between you and your thoughts. This space is where real transformation happens. It's in that quiet pause that you can begin to see things clearly and act with intention. So, how do you cultivate self-awareness and presence? It's not a one-time thing, it's a practice. It starts with noticing when your mind wanders, when you get lost in thought, when you start reacting automatically. The more you notice, the more you can bring your attention back to the present moment. Simple practices like mindful breathing, paying attention to your body, or focusing on a single task can help. It's about training yourself to be aware of what's happening right now. But it's also about being kind with yourself. Don't expect perfection. There will be days when your mind races, when it's hard to stay present, and that's okay. The goal isn't to achieve some perfect state of mind, it's to be able to return to presence whenever you slip away from it. Over time, you'll find that the more aware you become, the easier it is to stay present, even in moments that used to pull you out of your center. When you truly master this art of self-awareness and presence, you'll start to notice something amazing. Life starts to shift. It's as if the universe is responding to the energy you're putting out, not the frantic, anxious energy of wanting and needing, but the calm, confident energy of knowing you are enough, right here, right now. And that, my friend, is when the magic happens. Number 5. Align with the frequency of your desired outcome. Aligning with the frequency of your desired outcome is one of those concepts that sounds simple on the surface, but when you really dive into it, it opens up a whole new way of thinking about manifestation. It's not just about setting a goal or making a wish and hoping for the best. No, this is about vibrating at the same frequency as the thing you want, sinking your energy with it so deeply that it's almost like you're already living in that reality. But how do you even start to align with something you can't see or touch yet? That's where the magic happens. It's all about tuning your inner state to match the frequency of your desire, and the cool part is, this is something you can do right now, in this moment. You don't have to wait for the perfect conditions or for everything to fall into place first. The moment you decide to align yourself, you're already in motion. Now, this might sound a little woo-woo, but stick with me for a second. Everything in the universe has its own frequency, its own energy. Whether it's a thought, an emotion, or a material object, everything is vibrating at a certain rate. The trick to manifesting your desires is learning how to match that vibration. So, let's break it down. If you want to manifest abundance, for example, you need to start vibrating at the frequency of abundance. Sounds a bit strange, right? But hear me out. When you think of abundance, what does it feel like? It's a sense of expansion, possibility, freedom, joy. These are the vibrations you want to start embodying. Start by tapping into the feeling that you're already experiencing the outcome you want. It's not enough to just think about it, you need to feel it. Think about how you would feel if you already had what you're seeking. Would you feel confident, relaxed, empowered, excited? Those emotions are the frequency of your desire. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The more you feel those emotions in the present, the more you're aligning with that frequency. You're not waiting for the external world to change, you're shifting internally to match the world you want to create. This is why it's so important to let go of any doubts or fears that might try to creep in. Those emotions will only lower your frequency and pull you out of alignment with your goal. Fear, doubt, and worry are frequencies too, but they attract experiences that match those vibrations. So, if you want to attract a reality filled with abundance, peace, and success, you need to consistently align yourself with the feelings of abundance and success. The key here is consistency. It's also worth noting that this isn't about faking it or pretending everything is perfect. It's about genuinely connecting with the energy of what you want. There's a difference between pretending to feel something and actually cultivating the emotion. So, how do you do that? It starts with awareness. Notice what you're feeling throughout the day. When you catch yourself slipping into a state of fear or lack, gently bring yourself back to the feelings of your desired outcome. It's a constant process of recalibration, but every time you catch yourself and realign, you're getting closer to your manifestation. Another important aspect of alignment is trust. Trusting that your desires are already on their way, that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring them to you, is essential. The more you trust that your frequency is being heard, the more your energy starts to harmonize with it. It's like sending out a signal to the universe: I'm ready, I'm aligned, and I trust that what I want is already on its way. Remember, aligning with the frequency of your desired outcome is a process. It's not about forcing things or trying to manipulate reality. It's about recognizing that the energy of your desire is already present, and you just need to tune in. The more you align yourself, the more effortless your manifestations become. It's as if the universe starts working with you instead of against you. So, get into the habit of checking in with yourself regularly. How am I feeling right now? Does this feeling align with what I'm trying to manifest? If not, gently bring yourself back into harmony. You're not just hoping for something to happen, you're becoming the energy of that thing. The beauty of this approach is that you don't have to wait for everything to be perfect. You just need to start where you are, shift your vibration, and trust that the universe will meet you there. When you align with the frequency of your desires, you'll find that things begin to shift in ways that feel almost effortless, as if you're in the flow, riding the wave toward your dreams. Number 6. Practice visualization and mental imagery. Visualization and mental imagery are more than just fancy techniques for manifesting. They're like the fuel that powers the engine of your dreams. Think of your mind as a canvas, and visualization as the brush you use to paint the picture of your future. When you visualize, you're essentially creating a mental movie, a vivid scene where you're the star, and what you want to manifest is already happening. You see it. You feel it. You experience it as if it's real. The more detailed and immersive this mental imagery, the more powerful it becomes in shaping your reality. You see, the brain doesn't really distinguish between what's happening in the external world and what's happening in your mind. It's all processed as if it's equally real. So, when you vividly imagine something you desire, whether it's success, health, or a new relationship, the brain starts to activate the same neural pathways as if you were actually living that experience. It's like you're rehearsing your future, laying the groundwork for it to unfold in the real world. Now, the power of visualization doesn't lie in simply imagining what you want for a few minutes each day. It's about fully immersing yourself in the experience, pulling in all the senses. Don't just picture your goal, feel it. What does it sound like? What does it smell like? Can you feel the texture of it in your hands? The more sensory-rich your mental imagery, the more it feels like your brain is actually living it, and this is where the magic happens. Your thoughts begin to align with your intentions, creating a magnetic pull toward your desires. It's not just about daydreaming either. When you practice visualization, you're essentially training your mind to recognize success, abundance, or whatever your goal may be, as a normal part of your reality. Over time, as you continue to visualize, your brain becomes accustomed to seeing your goals as inevitable. You start to believe in your ability to manifest them because you've already experienced them in your mind. That belief, that deep sense of knowing, is what helps you take inspired action toward your dreams. But here's the thing, it's not enough to just visualize once or twice and expect things to fall into place. Consistency is key. Visualization works best when it becomes a regular practice. Think of it like working out at the gym. The more consistently you do it, the stronger your mental muscles become, and the quicker you begin to notice the effects in your life. When you make it a daily ritual, morning or night, or even both, you're keeping your mind focused on your desired outcome. You're constantly reinforcing your vision, which makes it easier for your external world to start shifting in alignment. And the best part? You don't have to wait for the physical evidence to appear before you start visualizing. Often, it's the opposite. Visualization is what creates the momentum, pulling the physical reality toward you. You're like a magnet, drawing what you want closer to you with every mental picture you paint. The more vividly you see it, the more you start believing it's already on its way. But what happens when doubt creeps in? What if, while you're visualizing, your mind starts telling you it's impossible or that it won't work? That's when you've got to push through. Visualization isn't just about seeing the end result, it's also about strengthening your mindset. It's about creating a mental environment where you're not easily swayed by negative thoughts or limiting beliefs. The more you practice, the more resilient you become. You'll learn to quiet those doubts and refocus on the vision. In the end, visualization isn't just some nice-to-have manifestation tool, it's a crucial part of aligning your mind with your desires. It's your inner compass, guiding you toward what you want. So, get comfortable with it. Let it become second nature. Close your eyes, create the vivid images, feel the emotions, and watch how the world begins to mirror what you've been visualizing. It's a beautiful process, and the more you commit to it, the more it transforms your reality, one mental picture at a time. Number 7, use meditation to deepen connection with universal energy. Alright, let's talk about using meditation to deepen your connection with universal energy. Now, when we say universal energy, we're talking about that subtle force, the invisible current that flows through everything, the stuff that makes up the world, the stuff that makes up you. It's the energy behind all things, from the big cosmic movements down to the tiniest particles. And while this might sound a little abstract at first, trust me, when you meditate, you can actually tap into it. Meditation is more than just sitting with your eyes closed and trying to empty your mind. It's a doorway, a portal, into something much greater than just your own thoughts. In fact, it's not about trying to stop thinking at all. The point of meditation isn't to block your thoughts, but to simply observe them without getting tangled in them. When you do this, you begin to create a space between you and the thoughts that usually dominate your mind. This space is where you can start to tune into something beyond the personal noise. And that's where universal energy starts to show up. Think of meditation as a tuning fork for your soul. It's like you're trying to tune your internal instrument so that it resonates with the vibration of the universe. At first, you might not feel anything, or you might get distracted by your thoughts. But keep at it, and you'll notice that after a while, something starts to shift. It's subtle. You begin to feel more connected to the present moment, to the world around you, to the flow of life itself. This is the first step in aligning yourself with universal energy. And let's be clear, universal energy isn't some distant, unreachable force. It's always around you, always flowing through you. The challenge is that, often, we're too caught up in our day-to-day thoughts, our worries, our plans, to even notice it. But when you meditate, you give yourself permission to stop and listen. It's like suddenly hearing a song that's been playing in the background the whole time, but you were too busy to catch the tune. Now, meditation isn't always easy. It can be uncomfortable, especially at first. Your mind will wander, your body might fidget, and the stillness can feel a little alien. But here's the thing, all of that is part of the process. Each time you bring your focus back to your breath or the feeling in your body, you're strengthening your ability to stay connected to that deeper, more expansive energy. It's a skill, just like anything else. As you keep practicing, you might start to notice that the lines between you and the universe begin to blur. The idea of you as separate from everything else starts to fade. You're not just a person in a room anymore, you're an extension of the vast, interconnected web of energy that surrounds us all. This realization isn't some abstract philosophy, it's something you begin to feel in your body. You start to notice how your energy shifts, how your mood changes, how the world seems to respond to your inner state. And this is where the real power lies. When you're connected to universal energy, you're no longer trying to force things into being. You're simply aligning with the natural flow of life. Meditation helps you to do that. It clears out the noise and creates space for you to tap into something bigger than your individual self. And when you align with that energy, the process of manifesting becomes less about effort and more about surrendering to what's already there. You're no longer chasing after things. You're simply becoming a vessel for the flow of life to move through you. The energy, the opportunities, the synchronicities, they start to come to you because you've put yourself in the right energetic space. But here's something to keep in mind, meditation isn't a quick fix. It's not about sitting for 10 minutes and expecting your life to change. It's a practice. It's something you build over time. And as you build it, you deepen your connection with universal energy in ways that are impossible to predict. Some days, it will feel effortless, like you're floating in a sea of calm and clarity. Other days, it will feel like your thoughts are louder than ever, and that's okay too. The more you show up, the more you'll begin to tap into that subtle, expansive force. And the best part? The more you meditate, the more you'll begin to see the effects in every area of your life. You'll find yourself responding to challenges with greater ease, seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles, and feeling a deeper sense of trust in the unfolding of your journey. When you're connected to universal energy, the universe doesn't just seem to support you, it flows with you. And that, my friend, is the essence of manifestation. Number 8, embrace gratitude as a tool for attracting abundance. Gratitude, it's one of those words that gets thrown around a lot, but when it comes to manifesting anything, it's like the secret ingredient that makes everything work better. And I'm not just talking about saying thank you every now and then. No, real gratitude is a deep, soul-shifting force that has the power to attract abundance in ways you might never have imagined. It's like a magnet for good things, and once you start to truly embrace it, you'll see how it changes the game for you. So, let's start by flipping the script on how we usually think about gratitude. Most people see it as a reaction. Something good happens, and you feel thankful for it. But what if gratitude wasn't just something that happens after the fact? What if it could actually be the thing that pulls more good things into your life, like a proactive tool? Here's the thing, gratitude is all about energy. When you genuinely feel grateful, you're shifting your vibration, and that shift opens the door for more of what you're grateful for to flow into your life. Think about it for a second. If you're constantly in a state of scarcity, thinking about what you lack, what you don't have, or what's missing, then that's the energy you're putting out into the universe. You're not exactly giving off a frequency that says, "Hey, bring me more abundance." You're putting out a vibe of "I don't have enough." On the flip side, when you start to practice gratitude, even for the smallest things, you're broadcasting the opposite frequency. You're saying, "I have enough. I'm thankful for what I already have, and I'm open to receiving more." It's not just a surface-level thought process. Gratitude works its magic by shifting your mindset from lack to abundance. And once that shift happens, the world starts to look different. Suddenly, you're more attuned to the good things around you, and those good things begin to multiply. It's like you've put on a pair of glasses that filter out the negative and highlight the positive. When you focus on what you already have, you're sending a message to the universe that you're in alignment with abundance, which, as strange as it sounds, makes you a magnet for more. But here's the kicker, you don't need to wait for big things to happen in your life to practice gratitude. In fact, the more you can cultivate gratitude for the little things, the more the universe has to work with. That's the secret, gratitude isn't about waiting for abundance to show up, it's about seeing the abundance that already exists around you and amplifying it. It could be something as simple as feeling thankful for a moment of peace, a smile from a stranger, or the warmth of the sun on your face. These tiny moments are still a form of abundance. And when you recognize them, you're essentially telling the universe, "Yes, I see all of this. Bring me more." Now, when it comes to manifesting, gratitude is like an energetic amplifier. When you pair gratitude with your desires, it sends a powerful signal to the universe. You're not just hoping for what you want, you're living as if it's already yours. The energy of gratitude aligns you with the frequency of your desires, making it easier for them to manifest. It's like this cosmic shortcut. Instead of spending time focusing on what's not here yet, you get to practice feeling the gratitude as if it already is. And that's the magic formula for attracting abundance in all its forms. But let's be real for a second, this isn't always easy. There are days when it's tough to feel grateful, especially when things aren't going the way you'd like them to. That's when the real power of gratitude kicks in. It's not about faking it or pretending everything is perfect, it's about choosing gratitude, even when it feels hard. When you can tap into that sense of appreciation in the midst of chaos or uncertainty, you're building a muscle that strengthens your connection to the flow of abundance. It's like giving the universe a little wink and saying, "I trust that there's good here, even if I can't see it right now." And the more you practice this, the more you'll start to notice how abundance flows into your life. It's not always in huge, obvious ways. Sometimes, it's a small shift in perspective, a new opportunity that you hadn't considered, or a series of tiny synchronicities that lead you closer to your goals. The universe has a funny way of surprising you, but it can only surprise you if you're open to it, and gratitude is the key that unlocks that door. So, as you continue on your journey of manifesting anything, remember to make gratitude your constant companion. It's the energetic foundation that holds everything together. When you align with it, you align with abundance. And when you align with abundance, you open the floodgates to a life filled with all the good things you've been dreaming of. Number 9. Release limiting beliefs and mental barriers. Releasing limiting beliefs and mental barriers is one of the most transformative steps you can take on your manifestation journey. Imagine you're trying to build a house, but every time you try to lay a foundation, there's a wall blocking your path. That's what limiting beliefs do. They create walls that prevent you from moving forward, even when the potential to build something amazing is right in front of you. These beliefs are like invisible chains, tying you to old patterns, doubts, and fears that keep you stuck. But here's the thing, these chains are not as solid as they seem. They're often just mental constructs, things we've been taught or picked up along the way. Most of the time, we're not even aware that they exist until we start questioning why we're not manifesting the things we desire. You may have a dream in your heart, but if you believe deep down that you're unworthy of it or that it's too hard to achieve, you'll unconsciously block yourself from getting closer to it. One of the first steps to releasing these limiting beliefs is recognizing them. They often show up in sneaky ways, disguised as excuses or self-doubt. You might catch yourself thinking things like, "I'm not good enough for that," or "people like me don't get what they want." These thoughts are the walls that stop your energy from flowing freely toward your goals. But once you become aware of them, you can start the work of dismantling them. The next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief really true? A lot of the time, we hold on to these ideas because they've been ingrained in us for years, maybe even since childhood. They feel safe and familiar, even though they're holding us back. But when you question them, really sit with the thought of, is this belief serving me or limiting me? You'll start to realize how much of it is simply old programming that no longer applies. Once you've identified these beliefs, it's time to let them go. Releasing limiting beliefs isn't just about telling yourself, "I don't believe that anymore." It's about actively shifting your mindset, replacing the old, restrictive thoughts with new, empowering ones. This is where the power of affirmation comes in. Instead of thinking, "I'm not worthy of success," you can start telling yourself, "I am worthy of all the abundance life has to offer." But here's a twist, affirmations alone won't work if you don't truly believe them. It's not just about repeating words, it's about feeling them in your body, believing them in your core. When you say, "I am worthy of success," feel that truth sink into every fiber of your being. Let the words resonate deeply, and start acting as though they're already true. This is where the magic happens. When you align your beliefs with your actions, you create a powerful, unstoppable force. Now, let's talk about mental barriers. These are the deeper, often unconscious obstacles that keep you from fully stepping into your power. They're like thick fog, clouding your vision and making you second-guess your every move. Mental barriers often stem from past experiences or fear of failure. Maybe you've tried to achieve something before and it didn't work out, so now you carry that fear forward with you. But here's the thing, every time you let that fear stop you, you're reinforcing the mental barrier. To break through these barriers, you have to get comfortable with discomfort. Fear is natural, but it's also an illusion. The more you lean into discomfort and take action despite the fear, the more you'll realize that these mental barriers are not as solid as they appear. They crumble the moment you confront them. When you push past the fear, you make room for growth, and that's when true transformation happens. Sometimes, releasing these beliefs and barriers takes time. It's not a one-and-done process. You'll likely need to revisit your mindset and beliefs regularly to ensure you're not slipping back into old patterns. But as you continue to challenge and release the limiting thoughts, you create a new mental space, one that's open, free, and full of possibility. The more you practice releasing those old beliefs, the more effortless it becomes. Eventually, you'll find yourself stepping into your full potential, manifesting the life you've always dreamed of. So, don't be afraid to dig deep and confront the things that have been holding you back. When you release those limiting beliefs and mental barriers, you're clearing the path for something amazing to come into your life. You have the power to rewrite your story, and it all starts with letting go of the mental blocks that no longer serve you. Number 10. Maintain faith and trust in the manifestation process. Alright, let's dive into one of the trickiest yet most important aspects of manifestation: maintaining faith and trust in the process. Now, this isn't just about blindly hoping things will work out. It's about genuinely aligning with the energy of belief, even when you can't see the finish line. This is where most people stumble. The moment things don't go according to plan or the manifestation seems to take longer than expected, doubt starts creeping in. And let's be honest, when things aren't going the way we want, it's easy to get frustrated. But here's the thing, doubt isn't just a neutral feeling, it's a barrier. It can stop the flow of energy you need to manifest. So, how do you maintain that unwavering faith when everything around you seems to be saying otherwise? The first step is understanding that the manifestation process isn't always linear. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it unfolds in its own time. You can't control everything, no matter how much you want to. And that's where trust comes in. Trust is like the quiet force that keeps you grounded when everything around you feels chaotic or uncertain. It's the belief that the universe has a plan for you, even if you don't have all the details yet. Now, this isn't to say that you just sit back and wait for things to fall into your lap. Far from it. Faith and trust in the manifestation process don't mean sitting idle. It means knowing that your actions, thoughts, and intentions are leading you somewhere, even if you can't see the path clearly. It's a deep knowing that everything you do is a step in the right direction. When you're aligned with your goals and stay committed to your vision, the universe starts to respond, sometimes in ways you might not expect. The tricky part is that during the waiting game, there's often no immediate evidence that your manifestation is coming to life. It's in these moments, when you feel stuck or frustrated, that faith becomes absolutely crucial. Think about it, the universe isn't just sitting there waiting for you to get frustrated before it delivers. It's always working. Always aligning things behind the scenes. But if you lose faith, you stop the flow. If you doubt too much, you create resistance. And resistance is like a roadblock that stops the manifestation from coming through. Here's another thing, trusting the process means trusting yourself. It means believing that you are worthy of receiving what you've asked for. So many people are caught in the cycle of "I'm not good enough" or "this is too big for me." But the truth is, if you've set the intention and aligned with the energy of what you want, it's already on its way. Doubt only creates a distance between you and your desires. You have to trust not only in the universe but also in your own ability to manifest. There's a beautiful thing that happens when you fully surrender to the process. It's almost like a weight is lifted. You let go of the need to control how and when things will happen, and suddenly, everything starts flowing more effortlessly. It's in that space of trust and surrender that magic can happen. When you trust that the universe has your back, you stop second-guessing every little step and start moving forward with confidence. That's when things begin to shift in ways that surprise you. But let's not sugarcoat it, it's hard to maintain faith when things aren't looking the way you imagined. You might find yourself asking, "Why isn't this happening faster?" or "Is this really going to work for me?" And that's completely normal. Those thoughts will come up. The key is not to let them dictate your reality. When doubt arises, acknowledge it. Let it be there. But don't let it control you. Shift your focus back to what you're creating, to your vision, and to the belief that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if it doesn't look like it right now. At the end of the day, maintaining faith and trust is about holding the vision of what you want without getting attached to how it will come to you. Trust that the manifestation process is happening, even if you can't see it immediately. Believe that everything you're doing, every step you take, is leading you closer to what you desire. And as you continue moving forward with unwavering trust, you'll find that the universe, in its own time and in its own way, will start to reflect your faith back to you in ways that are beyond your wildest dreams. In the next section, let's discuss how you can manifest while sleeping. Did you know you can reprogram your mind for manifestation while you sleep? Jacobo Grinberg, the visionary consciousness researcher, uncovered techniques to harness the subconscious mind's power during sleep. His forgotten wisdom reveals how the dream state can align your thoughts and energy with your desires, effortlessly attracting what you want. In this video, we'll explore Grinberg's groundbreaking insights and teach you how to unlock your manifestation potential while you rest. Stay tuned until the end. This simple yet powerful method could change your life overnight. Let's dive into the secrets of manifesting while you sleep. Number 1. Techniques for entering a meditative sleep state. When it comes to mastering the art of manifesting while you sleep, one of the most important factors is creating the perfect environment for your mind to relax and enter a meditative sleep state. Sounds easy enough, right? But it's often harder than it seems. Our minds are like busy highways, and trying to turn off the mental chatter before bed can feel like a battle. But don't worry, there are techniques that can help guide you toward the kind of deep, restorative sleep that opens the door to manifestation. First off, it's crucial to understand that sleep isn't just about closing your eyes and checking out. It's a process that can be optimized, especially when you're aiming to use it as a tool for manifesting. The goal is to quiet the mind, relax the body, and bring yourself into a state where you can effortlessly drift into the kind of sleep that nurtures your desires. Now, let's start with something simple: setting the stage. Think of your bedroom as the stage for a performance that you're about to experience. It needs to be comfortable, soothing, and free from distractions. Dimming the lights, adjusting the temperature to something cozy, and removing any noise or clutter can make all the difference. A cool, dark room signals to your brain that it's time to wind down and let go. And trust me, you want your space to be in alignment with your intention. Once you've created the perfect setting, the next step is to focus on your breath. This isn't just about breathing in and out mindlessly, it's about being present with each breath, allowing it to slow down, deepening your inhales and exhales. One technique that can help guide you into that peaceful state is something called 4-7-8 breathing. It's as simple as it sounds. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7, then exhale slowly for 8. The rhythm of this breath creates a calming effect, helping to lower heart rates and ease the body into a more relaxed state. But there's more to this than just calming the body. The mind needs attention too. As you settle into your bed, close your eyes and start to turn inward. Visualize a peaceful place, a space where everything is calm, serene, and effortless. Allow your thoughts to drift like clouds. You're not trying to force your mind to shut down, you're simply observing and letting go of any worries. If your thoughts start to wander, and they will, don't judge yourself, just gently bring your focus back to your breath or your visualization. Another technique is progressive muscle relaxation. You can start at your toes and work your way up, consciously relaxing each muscle group. As you tense and release the muscles, focus on the sensations of relaxation that follow. It's almost like telling your body, hey, it's time to let go. Slowly, you'll notice that your body is softening, and tension is melting away, which naturally prepares you for sleep. You may also want to experiment with incorporating sound into this relaxation. Gentle white noise, binaural beats, or soothing nature sounds can enhance your sleep experience by quieting distractions and promoting deeper relaxation. Once you've relaxed both your mind and body, it's time to add the magic of intention setting. This is where the manifesting really begins. Right before you drift into sleep, take a moment to silently state your intentions. The key is to keep it simple and focused. Picture your desires as if they are already happening. See the emotions associated with those desires flowing through you. The more vividly you can imagine this, the more your subconscious will be ready to help make it a reality. You might even choose to repeat a mantra or affirmation that aligns with your goals. This helps reinforce the idea that what you're asking for is already yours, and the subconscious mind loves to work with this idea. The final piece of the puzzle is surrender. You've done your part by setting up your sleep environment, breathing deeply, relaxing, and visualizing your intentions. Now, it's time to trust the process. As you drift off to sleep, release any attachment to the outcome. Trust that the universe, or your subconscious mind, is doing the work. Manifestation isn't about forcing things to happen. It's about aligning with what you want and letting go of resistance. And when you do that, you'll likely be surprised at the subtle ways the world begins to shift around you. In the end, creating a meditative sleep state isn't about perfection, it's about consistency and intention. Keep practicing, and you'll find yourself entering sleep in a way that not only promotes deep rest but also nurtures the manifestation of your dreams. Number 2, visualizing goals before falling asleep. Alright, let's dive into this. When it comes to manifesting your goals, the hours before you drift off into sleep hold some of the most potent potential for shaping your future. You've probably heard it before, but it's one of those things that's just too powerful to ignore, the idea of visualizing your goals right before you close your eyes. But it's not just about thinking of your dreams for a few seconds, it's about truly immersing yourself in them. Picture this: the day's winding down, your mind's racing, and instead of letting it spiral into anxiety or random thoughts, you consciously decide to channel that energy toward your vision. See, when we sleep, our minds don't exactly shut off. In fact, sleep is a gateway to a different layer of consciousness. It's like this in-between zone where your subconscious gets louder, more active, and more suggestible. The cool part? Your brain doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined during this phase. That's why it's so important to feed it with clear, vibrant images of your goals. If you can tap into that just before sleep, you've got a direct line to manifesting those dreams. Let's slow this down a bit. The moment you lie in bed and start to relax, your body begins releasing tension, and your mind starts shifting gears. Instead of just letting your thoughts wander, try to harness this time. Focus. This is your chance to plant the seeds of what you want in life. Take a deep breath, feel the weight of the day fall off your shoulders, and then bring your vision to the forefront of your mind. Imagine it in vivid detail. Picture your goals as though they're already a reality. See it, feel it, taste it even. The beauty of this is that you're not just daydreaming, you're feeding your subconscious with instructions, setting the stage for the energy to align with your desires. You're essentially telling your brain, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to achieve, and you're giving it the blueprint to work with overnight. It's not magic, though. It's more about intentional focus, something that can change how you approach the day ahead and how you perceive your goals. There's also something deeply personal about this process. It's not about running through a generic checklist of things you think you want. When you visualize before sleep, you connect to what truly matters to you, the goals that make you feel alive. This kind of deep connection adds fuel to the fire, giving your subconscious the strength to guide you through the night toward making those desires manifest. Now, here's the thing: the mind can be a tricky place. It's easy to let doubts creep in or to feel like your dreams are out of reach. But when you're visualizing right before sleep, you're in a unique position to bypass that logical part of your brain that's always trying to talk you out of things. The subconscious doesn't question, it just absorbs. So, even if your conscious mind doubts or second guesses, your subconscious takes in the imagery and starts working in the background, aligning things to help bring those images to life. It's almost like setting up a ritual. Night after night, you get into this routine where your dreams aren't just random snapshots of the day but clear, intentional visuals of where you're headed. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes, and over time, you'll notice subtle shifts. Things will begin to align in a way that feels less like coincidence and more like you're tapping into something bigger than yourself. And here's a fun twist: you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need a step-by-step map for your goals. All you need is a clear, strong vision of the end result. If you can feel the emotions tied to that vision, the joy, the excitement, the pride, That's the secret sauce. Those emotions are powerful. They create a vibrational frequency that sends out a signal to the universe, telling it exactly what you're calling in. By visualizing that before bed, you're not only setting your mind's compass but also aligning your energy to start attracting those very experiences into your life. So, the next time you're lying in bed, ready to drift off, remember, it's not just sleep you're after. It's the perfect opportunity to plant your desires deep into the soil of your subconscious. Visualize with clarity, with intention, and with the belief that your goals are already in the process of manifesting. Number 3. The importance of belief and intention in manifesting. Sure, let's dive into belief and intention, which are at the very heart of manifesting. Picture this: manifestation isn't just about sitting back and wishing for things to happen. It's a dance between your inner world and the reality you're trying to create. The first step? You've got to truly believe that what you want is not only possible but already on its way to you. Sounds a bit dreamy, right? But there's power in this belief that goes beyond just positive thinking. When you think about it, belief is a force that shapes the course of everything. It's like a filter through which you view the world, and it's not static, it shifts and adapts based on what you hold true. If you believe deep down that you're worthy of success, love, abundance, or peace, your actions, thoughts, and energy align with that belief. It's almost like your belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You begin to see opportunities where others might miss them, or you find the strength to push through when things get tough because, in the back of your mind, you're already convinced that what you want will come. The trick, though, is understanding that belief isn't just some airy concept. It's real, it's tangible, and it can be felt. You know when someone says something with so much conviction that it resonates with you on a deep level? That's the power of belief in action. When you believe in your manifestation, you don't have to force things. You simply allow your energy to become a magnet for what you want to bring into your life. It's like you're sending out a signal, one that the universe can't ignore. But belief alone isn't enough, right? That's where intention comes in. It's not just about wishing for something. It's about actively deciding what you want, then aligning your actions with that decision. Intention is where the rubber meets the road. It's the force that drives your manifestation into action. Without intention, belief would be like a dream that never gets the chance to awaken. It's the commitment to making your dreams real, no matter what, and it's something that you must carry within you at all times. Manifestation is a two-way street. Belief is the foundation, but intention is what creates the path. When you have clear, intentional goals, everything else falls into place. It's like planting a seed. You believe the seed will grow into a tree, but you also water it, nurture it, and give it the right conditions to thrive. Your intention is the nurturing force that shapes the manifestation process, ensuring that your dreams don't just remain abstract wishes but turn into something tangible. What makes intention so powerful is that it's rooted in clarity. Without clear intention, it's easy to get distracted, to go off course, or to manifest things that don't truly align with your deepest desires. You have to know exactly what you want and commit to it wholeheartedly. It's this kind of clarity that ignites the spark that keeps your manifestation alive, making it easier to spot opportunities and take the necessary steps toward your goals. And here's the beauty of it: when you combine belief and intention, you create a force that is incredibly magnetic. Think of it like this: belief is the fire, and intention is the wind that fuels it. You've got the warmth of your desires, the clarity of your purpose, and the unstoppable momentum of your focused intention, all working together. It's when belief and intention merge that manifestation becomes an art form. So, the next time you think about manifesting while you sleep, remember this: it's not just about hoping things will fall into place. It's about believing in your own power to shape your reality, aligning your actions with clear intention, and trusting the process as you watch your dreams unfold. Believe deeply. Set your intention. and let the universe respond in kind. Number 4. Understanding the power of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, where do we even begin with this mysterious powerhouse? It's like the backstage crew of your mind, always working behind the scenes, making decisions, storing memories, and pulling strings in ways we don't even fully understand. Yet, it holds immense power over the course of our lives. When it comes to manifesting while you sleep, tapping into this hidden force is absolutely crucial. Think of your subconscious as a sponge, constantly soaking up everything around you. It doesn't judge, it doesn't discriminate, and it doesn't distinguish between what's real or imagined. Whether you're consciously aware of it or not, your subconscious is absorbing all the thoughts, emotions, and experiences you encounter. And here's the kicker, it influences your actions, beliefs, and even your reality in ways that go far beyond conscious thought. Now, imagine if you could communicate directly with this part of your mind, the one that's storing everything, even the stuff you don't remember consciously. It's like having a superpower. In fact, when you learn how to consciously influence your subconscious mind, you can start to reprogram it to align with your desires. This is where the magic of manifesting really begins. Why does this matter for manifesting while you sleep? Well, sleep is when the conscious mind takes a back seat. You're not actively thinking or engaging with the external world, and that's exactly when the subconscious mind comes to the forefront. It's during sleep that your subconscious mind gets the opportunity to integrate all the thoughts, experiences, and intentions that you've planted during the day. This is where your dreams come into play. Your subconscious mind uses your dreams as a way to process, communicate, and even manifest the seeds you've planted. The beauty of this is that you don't need to force it, your mind is already working for you. But how do you make sure you're feeding your subconscious the right information to help manifest your dreams? Well, it's all about what you're putting into it, what you expose yourself to, what you focus on, and what you believe deep down. Think of your subconscious as a garden, and your thoughts as the seeds you plant. If you continuously plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, that's what your subconscious will grow. But if you consciously choose to plant seeds of positivity, confidence, and belief in your dreams, those are the seeds that will take root. The cool thing about the subconscious is that it works whether you're aware of it or not. The trick is learning how to engage with it on a deeper level. When it comes to manifesting while you sleep, one of the most effective ways to do this is through repetition. Whether it's affirmations, visualizations, or simply imagining the life you want, repeating these thoughts before bed helps lock them into your subconscious. Your mind doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's imagined, so if you continuously tell yourself that your dreams are already on their way, your subconscious mind will start to accept that as truth. But here's the catch, the subconscious is a little stubborn. It's not easily swayed by surface-level thoughts or a couple of positive affirmations before bed. It takes consistency. Your subconscious mind loves repetition. That's why, over time, the more you feed it with positive thoughts and intentions, the stronger those beliefs will become. Eventually, your subconscious will start acting in alignment with those beliefs, and you'll find yourself naturally making choices and taking actions that move you closer to your goals, even in your sleep. Another way to tap into the power of your subconscious mind is through relaxation techniques. When you're in a deeply relaxed state, your subconscious becomes more receptive to suggestion. This is why meditation, deep breathing, and even self-hypnosis can be incredibly powerful tools for manifesting. The more you can calm your mind and body before sleep, the more open your subconscious will be to receiving your desires. Ultimately, the key is to trust the process. The subconscious mind doesn't need you to constantly monitor it. Once you've set the intention, you can let go and trust that your mind is working on it in the background. It's like planting a seed and then allowing nature to take care of the rest. The beauty of the subconscious is that it's always working for you, even when you're asleep. The more you understand its power and how to align with it, the more you'll unlock your ability to manifest in ways that seem effortless and natural. Number 5. Aligning thoughts with desired outcomes. Let's talk about aligning your thoughts with your desired outcomes. Sounds simple, right? But really, it's one of those concepts that can make or break whether you manifest what you want in life or not. Here's the thing, your thoughts are powerful. They shape your reality, whether you're aware of it or not. If your mind is a wild, untamed field of scattered ideas, doubts, and confusion, it's tough for any kind of clear, focused intention to take root. But when you intentionally align your thoughts with the outcomes you desire, you set the stage for those outcomes to start materializing. It's like tuning an instrument. You can't expect a beautiful melody if your strings are out of tune. The truth is, most people let their thoughts wander aimlessly, reacting to the world around them instead of consciously guiding them. When you're truly aligned, it's not just about wishful thinking. It's a deeper connection, a kind of coherence between what you think and what you want to experience. It's about having clarity, being grounded in your desires, and ensuring your thoughts are on the same wavelength as your goals. But how do you do that? How do you create that alignment, especially when your mind can feel like a whirlwind of distractions? Start by getting really clear on what it is you want. I mean really clear. When you have a fuzzy or unclear goal in mind, your thoughts can't align with it. It's like trying to hit a target in the dark. The more specific you are, the easier it is for your thoughts to lock into that vision and move toward it. If you want financial freedom, don't just think, "I want more money." That's too vague. Instead, imagine the lifestyle you want, how you feel, what your days look like, how your surroundings change. Get into the details. The more vivid your goal is in your mind, the more your thoughts will naturally begin to orbit around that vision. Then, once you have that vision locked in, check your thoughts. What are you thinking on a daily basis? Are they aligned with the outcome you want? Because let's be real, we all have those sneaky little thoughts that pop up, self-doubt, fear, and the feeling that maybe we're not good enough to achieve our dreams. These thoughts can easily take root if we're not careful. But when you're committed to aligning your thoughts with your goals, you start noticing those sneaky intruders before they take over. It's a mental discipline. Catch those negative thoughts and redirect them. Instead of saying, "I'll never get there," catch yourself and replace it with, "I am capable, and I'm taking steps toward my goal every day." But here's the kicker, alignment doesn't mean forcing yourself into some picture-perfect state of constant positivity. It's not about pretending you don't have doubts or struggles. It's about consciously choosing to focus on thoughts that serve your desires rather than undermine them. It's about practicing awareness. When you notice negative thoughts cropping up, rather than allowing them to spiral, you gently shift your focus back to what you want to achieve. This is where the magic happens. The more you align your thoughts, the more your beliefs about what's possible start to shift. Your thoughts become your beliefs, and those beliefs become your actions. It's this feedback loop that makes manifestation so powerful. Thoughts lead to beliefs, beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior creates the reality you live in. It's a cycle you can absolutely control. And the beauty of aligning your thoughts is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't need to banish every negative thought or doubt. You just need to keep returning to that space of alignment, like checking in with yourself throughout the day. It's about having a practice, a habit, of bringing your thoughts back into sync with your goals. Over time, this consistency builds momentum. And as your thoughts align more and more with your desired outcomes, you'll begin to notice how your reality starts to shift. Things that once felt impossible or out of reach begin to feel more attainable. Opportunities pop up in the most unexpected ways. You'll find yourself taking action with more confidence, because your thoughts are no longer working against you, but with you. That's when the magic of manifestation truly kicks in, when your thoughts, energy, and actions all point in the same direction. The universe starts responding in kind. So, aligning your thoughts isn't just a one-time task. It's a continual practice. It's about keeping your mind focused on your desires, challenging those thoughts that don't serve you, and consistently choosing to think in a way that supports your dreams. It's not about getting rid of fear or doubt, it's about not letting those things steer the ship. When you master this, you unlock the potential to manifest anything you desire. It all starts with the thoughts you choose to entertain, and as you get better at aligning them with your goals, you'll start seeing just how much power you hold in shaping your reality. Number 6. Practicing gratitude to amplify manifestations. Gratitude is like the secret ingredient that takes your manifestation game to a whole new level. It's one of those things that's so simple, yet so powerful. But the magic of gratitude doesn't just come from saying thank you a few times a day. It's about cultivating a deep, heartfelt sense of appreciation for the present moment, for everything you already have, and for the things that are still on their way to you. When you're trying to manifest, you're essentially aligning your energy with the reality you want to create. And here's the catch: your energy, your vibration, has to be in harmony with that future reality. Gratitude, when practiced right, is a perfect match for this. Why? Because when you feel grateful, you're radiating positive energy. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already present, and in doing so, it helps you get out of the mindset of lack. Think about it. When you're caught in that "I don't have enough" or "I'm still waiting for everything to fall into place" mentality, it's tough to manifest anything. The universe responds to the energy you send out, so if you're focused on scarcity or dissatisfaction, that's what you're attracting. But gratitude works like a light switch. It flips you into a mindset of abundance. It pulls you out of that lack-based frequency and connects you with the realization that you already have so much to be thankful for. The beauty of practicing gratitude in the process of manifestation is that it helps you become a vibrational match for your desires. You're not just wishing for things to happen, you're already aligning yourself with the feeling of having what you want. The secret here is in the feeling. It's not about repeating words mindlessly, it's about truly experiencing gratitude, letting it soak into your body and soul. When you feel gratitude, you're creating a frequency that matches your desired reality. The more you feel grateful, the more you're drawing in even more of what you want. Now, it's important to note that gratitude isn't just about focusing on the big things. It's the small moments that matter, too. Gratitude doesn't need to wait for something huge to happen before it can be felt. It's in the little things, the quiet moments of peace, the warmth of a good cup of tea, the fresh air you breathe in. When you acknowledge these smaller blessings, you send a message to the universe that you're ready to receive more. This isn't just a thank you for the things you already have, it's an energetic signal that says, "I am open to receiving more of what brings me joy." And here's where it gets even better. Gratitude doesn't just amplify what you already have, it also helps clear any resistance you may have to your manifestations. Sometimes, we unknowingly block our own desires with doubts or limiting beliefs. Gratitude works as a tool to remove those blocks. When you practice gratitude, you start to trust more. You trust that the universe has your back, that what you desire is already on its way to you. In turn, this trust helps you let go of any doubts or fears that might be standing in the way. Gratitude also has this amazing way of keeping you grounded and present. So often, when we're focused on what we want to manifest, we get caught up in the future, worrying about when it'll happen, how it'll happen, and if it'll happen at all. But when you practice gratitude, it anchors you in the now. You become less obsessed with the outcome, and more connected to the present moment. This creates a space where you can feel joy in the journey, not just in the destination. The key takeaway here is that gratitude doesn't just make your manifestations more likely, it makes them more real. The more you appreciate what's already in your life, the more you create space for even more blessings to flow to you. It's not about waiting until your manifestations show up before you feel grateful. No, It's about feeling gratitude now, in this moment, for everything that's already aligned with your desires. So, as you're working on manifesting your dreams, don't forget to sprinkle in a little gratitude. Be grateful for the progress you've made, for the lessons you've learned, and for the opportunities that are unfolding in your life right now. When you make gratitude a regular part of your manifestation practice, you're not just waiting for things to come to you, you're actively creating the energetic conditions that make your desires inevitable. Number 7. Cultivating emotional alignment with goals. When it comes to manifesting your dreams, it's easy to get caught up in the mental game, the planning, the strategizing, the goal setting. But here's the thing, if your emotions aren't in alignment with your goals, you're essentially trying to steer a car with the brakes on. It's not going to go very far. In fact, emotional alignment is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, pieces of the manifestation puzzle. Think about it, when you truly feel good about something, when your emotions are buzzing with excitement and passion, things just seem to fall into place. But when you're carrying doubt, fear, or frustration, those emotions act like a weight around your ankles, holding you back, even if your intentions are crystal clear. That's why cultivating emotional alignment with your goals isn't just important, it's essential if you want to see things start to move. The first step to emotional alignment is recognizing that emotions aren't just a response to the external world, they're also a reflection of your internal state. Your emotions are like an energetic signature, constantly sending out signals to the universe about what you're attracting into your life. If your inner world is out of sync with what you want, it's going to be hard to align your energy with your desires. So, if you're trying to manifest abundance but you're emotionally stuck in a place of lack, those two opposing energies are just going to cancel each other out. It's not enough to just think about what you want, you have to feel it. It's all about shifting your emotional state so that your emotions match the outcome you desire. Let's say your goal is to manifest a thriving business. If deep down you feel insecure or anxious about whether it will work, that energy is misaligned with the belief that your business will succeed. The trick is to feel the emotions of success, even before it happens. Get into the mindset of someone who has already achieved the success you desire. What does that feel like? Can you generate the excitement, pride, and fulfillment associated with that future version of yourself right now, in this very moment? And this is where things can get tricky, because your emotions aren't always under your direct control. You might wake up one day feeling down, frustrated, or overwhelmed, and suddenly, your emotions don't seem to be in harmony with your goals at all. This is completely normal, but it doesn't mean you're stuck. The key is learning how to shift your emotional state, even if just a little. This doesn't mean you have to be relentlessly positive or fake happiness, but it does mean you need to consciously choose to focus on emotions that serve your goals. One powerful way to do this is through gratitude. Gratitude has this magical way of recalibrating your energy and lifting you up to a higher emotional state. It's like flipping a switch from lack to abundance. When you're in a state of gratitude, it's almost impossible to feel negative emotions like fear or doubt at the same time. It's a tool you can use to immediately align yourself with the energy of abundance, success, and joy. So, before you go to sleep at night, try focusing on the things you're grateful for, whether it's your health, your loved ones, or even small wins you've had that day. This simple practice can quickly shift your vibration and align your emotions with the energy of your goals. Visualization also plays a huge role in cultivating emotional alignment. When you visualize your goals, don't just picture them happening, feel them. Imagine the excitement, the satisfaction, the relief, or whatever emotions come up when you see your desires unfolding. Engage all your senses in the process. Can you feel the sense of accomplishment in your chest? Can you see the success in your mind's eye? The more you can embody these emotions, the more naturally they'll align with the reality you're creating. Your emotions are the fuel for your intentions, and the more vivid and real those emotions feel, the faster you'll begin to attract what you want. Another aspect of emotional alignment is forgiveness. Sometimes, we carry around emotional baggage from past experiences that can subtly influence our current goals. Negative emotions like resentment, guilt, or anger can block your energy and disrupt the flow of manifestation. By forgiving yourself and others, you free up emotional space for new possibilities. It's like clearing away old debris so that fresh, positive energy can take its place. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean condoning what happened, it means releasing the emotional charge that's holding you back. At the end of the day, emotional alignment is a practice, something you need to intentionally cultivate every day. It's about tuning into your feelings, being honest with yourself about where you're at, and then taking small steps to realign with your goals. Emotions are powerful, and when you learn how to harness them, you're not just wishing for your dreams to come true, you're energetically drawing them to you. So, the next time you find yourself questioning whether you're on the right path or doubting if your goals are even possible, check in with your emotions. Are they in alignment with your desires? If not, take a moment to shift your perspective, focus on gratitude, and tap into the feelings that will move you closer to the life you want. After all, manifestation isn't just about thinking, you've got to feel it too. Number 8. Using affirmations to reprogram the mind. Alright, let's get into affirmations, an often overlooked tool when it comes to manifesting, but one that has the power to completely rewire how we think, feel, and act. We've all heard about affirmations at some point, right? Saying a few positive words in the mirror every morning. Sounds easy, but what makes affirmations so powerful is the way they work beneath the surface. It's not just about repeating words, it's about reprogramming your mind, reshaping the mental pathways that have been running the show, often without you even realizing it. At its core, affirmations are a form of self-talk, but not the kind where you criticize yourself or let doubt creep in. We're talking about intentional, positive, and empowering statements that guide your mind toward a desired outcome. The tricky part is that our minds are naturally wired to default to the negative. It's like a default setting that's been programmed over years of experience, influences, and conditioning. We get used to thinking in a way that keeps us safe, but it doesn't always serve us when it comes to pursuing goals or manifesting our dreams. Here's the kicker: your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. That's why we can feel genuine fear when we're thinking about something that hasn't even happened yet. This is where affirmations step in. By consistently repeating affirmations, you begin to trick your brain into accepting these new ideas as truth. Think of it as installing a new operating system. At first, your mind might resist, just like a computer that refuses to load new software. But the more you feed it, the easier it becomes to update those old beliefs. So, how do you actually use affirmations to reprogram your mind? It's about being deliberate, choosing words that resonate with what you want to create in your life. It's not enough to just say "I am successful" or "I am rich," because those statements can feel so far from your current reality that they don't hit the mark. Instead, choose affirmations that are believable yet aspirational. Something like, "I am attracting the opportunities one need to succeed," or "Every day, I am making progress toward my goals." This way, the affirmation doesn't feel like a lie, but rather a powerful reminder that you are on the right path. The trick with affirmations is to feel them, not just say them. It's easy to repeat words without really connecting to them. But when you say an affirmation with genuine emotion, it creates a kind of energetic shift. You start to feel the truth of it. You're not just going through the motions, you're actively engaging with it. This is what makes affirmations more than just words on a page. When you repeat them consistently, you're tapping into a kind of vibration that sends a clear message to your subconscious mind: this is who I am, and this is where I'm going. Now, the real magic happens when you pair affirmations with the subconscious power of sleep. Right before you fall asleep is one of the most potent times to reprogram your mind, because your brain is transitioning from the logical, conscious state into the more suggestible, subconscious one. Think of it like putting your mind into download mode. This is when you want to feed it the affirmations that will set the tone for your goals. You're planting seeds while your mind is most receptive, allowing those thoughts to grow and take root overnight. But here's the thing, consistency is key. Just like a plant needs consistent watering to grow, your affirmations need to be repeated regularly to take effect. In the beginning, it might feel like nothing's changing. You might even wonder if you're wasting your time. But over time, your mind starts to shift, almost without you realizing it. You'll notice that your inner dialogue changes. Your focus sharpens. You become more open to opportunities that align with your desires, simply because your thoughts are no longer weighed down by the old beliefs that once held you back. And don't forget about the importance of belief. If you repeat an affirmation but don't truly believe it, the impact will be limited. This is why it's essential to find affirmations that feel empowering and achievable, rather than forcing yourself into a state of false confidence. The goal isn't to say something that's completely out of reach, it's to say something that feels true and moves you closer to the version of yourself that you're becoming. Here's where it gets exciting. As your mind starts to embrace the affirmations, your external world begins to reflect those internal shifts. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open. You take actions with more confidence. Your reality starts aligning with the beliefs you've been reinforcing through those affirmations. It's like the universe has been waiting for you to get on the same page, and once you do, everything starts to fall into place. So, don't underestimate the power of words. Affirmations are more than just a tool. They're a key that can unlock your subconscious potential and reshape your reality, one positive statement at a time. Just remember to be patient and consistent. Over time, you'll notice that the new beliefs you're planting today will start sprouting into the life you've always desired. Number 9. Letting go of resistance and trusting the process. Letting go of resistance and trusting the process, it's one of the most powerful things you can do in the realm of manifestation. But, boy, is it tough. We're all wired to want control, right? To steer the ship, navigate the waves, and make sure things go according to our plan. The idea of letting go and trusting that everything will unfold as it's meant to can feel uncomfortable, like handing over the wheel to someone else while you're blindfolded. But this, right here, is where the magic happens. Resistance shows up in all sorts of sneaky ways. It's that little voice in your head that doubts your ability to manifest what you want. It's the fear that creeps in, convincing you that maybe you're not good enough, or that things will never work out. It's that inner tension, the feeling that you're swimming against the current, fighting tooth and nail to make things happen. And here's the thing, when you resist the flow of life, when you fight the natural unfolding of things, you're actually slowing down the process. It's like you're trying to push a boulder up a hill, and no matter how hard you push, you're stuck in that same spot. But what if you stop fighting? What if you let go of that resistance, just for a moment? Imagine what would happen if you simply trusted that things were already in motion, that what you want is already on its way to you. Now, this isn't about sitting back and doing nothing. Far from it. It's about releasing the need for control, giving up the idea that you have to micromanage every detail, and allowing yourself to flow with the process. Trusting the process means having faith in yourself, in your ability to create, and in the universe's ability to deliver. It's about recognizing that, yes, you're doing your part by setting your intentions, taking inspired action, and staying in alignment with your desires. But then, you also have to release the need to constantly check if everything is going according to plan. It's letting go of that anxiety, that desperate need to see results right now. Because here's the thing, manifestation is a process. It unfolds in its own time, and the more you try to force it, the more you're pushing it away. This is where the real power lies. When you trust, you stop worrying. You stop second-guessing every decision you make. You stop waiting for signs and start believing that the signs are already there. It's a subtle shift, but it's profound. Instead of focusing on the gaps between where you are and where you want to be, you focus on the knowing that it's already in motion. You begin to see opportunities that were once invisible. You start to feel an ease that was once clouded by doubt. The universe can only respond to your energy when you're willing to trust that everything is happening at the right time, in the right way. Letting go also means releasing expectations. We often have this very specific idea of how our dreams should manifest. Maybe you've been visualizing your goals for months, and you have a clear picture of how they should unfold. But the universe? Well, it works in mysterious ways. It doesn't always follow the script we've written in our heads. When you let go of resistance, you stop clinging to rigid expectations and open yourself up to the possibility that things may unfold in ways that surprise you. And trust me, the surprises are often better than what you could have imagined. Of course, this doesn't mean that things will always feel smooth or easy. Life has its ups and downs. You might face setbacks or challenges, and you might find yourself back in a place of doubt. But here's the kicker, those moments aren't signs that things aren't working, they're just part of the process. They're teaching moments, opportunities for growth. And when you trust the process, you start to see them not as obstacles, but as stepping stones. It's like building a bridge. You don't always see how the pieces fit together, but with each step, you're getting closer to the other side. Trusting the process means knowing that even when you can't see the full picture, each moment is moving you in the right direction. It's a kind of surrender, not to helplessness, but to the knowing that things are always working out for you, even if it doesn't always look the way you expect. So, the next time you catch yourself feeling resistance, take a deep breath and let it go. Trust that the universe, your inner wisdom, and your energy are all working together to bring you what you want. You don't need to force it. You just need to relax into the flow and let everything unfold at the perfect time. Number 10. Consistency and patience in applying manifestation practices. When it comes to manifesting, there's one thing you need to know: it's not a one-and-done deal. It's not about doing one meditation or writing down one affirmation and expecting the universe to just hand everything to you. Manifestation, much like any meaningful process, is about consistency and patience. It's about showing up day after day, even when the results aren't immediately obvious, and trusting that what you're doing is working beneath the surface. Think about it like planting a garden. You don't just throw some seeds in the ground, water them once, and expect a garden to appear the next day. No, you water them regularly, you tend to them, and you wait. Over time, those seeds start to sprout. Manifestation works in a similar way. You plant the seeds of your desires, but you have to keep nurturing them with your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's a slow burn, but the results are powerful when you stick with it. One of the biggest challenges people face when it comes to manifestation is impatience. It's easy to want results right now, especially in a world where everything seems to move at lightning speed. But here's the reality: manifestation isn't about instant gratification. It's about the long game. Think about it, how often do we expect things to happen quickly, only to be disappointed when they don't? That's where patience comes in. If you're going to manifest while you sleep, or manifest anything, really, you need to trust the process. You need to believe that even when you don't see immediate results, everything you've been doing is slowly but surely working behind the scenes. Consistency plays a huge role here too. It's not just about randomly throwing your energy out into the world and hoping it sticks. You've got to make manifestation a daily habit. Whether it's through meditation, visualization, journaling, or affirmations, the more you consistently engage with your goals, the more you send the message to your subconscious that this is your reality. It's like building muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it gets. And with manifestation, the more you align your energy with your goals, the more you start to see the signs that things are shifting in your favor. But here's the kicker: staying consistent doesn't mean you're constantly doing the same thing over and over. It's about the intention behind it. Some days might feel more powerful than others, and that's okay. You don't need to be on every single day. There will be days when you're exhausted, or when it feels like nothing is happening, but that doesn't mean your efforts aren't working. Trust that the universe, your subconscious mind, and the energy around you are doing their part even when it's not obvious. The key is to keep showing up, no matter what. Small, consistent actions, done over time, will always yield greater results than sporadic bursts of effort. And this brings us to patience. Patience doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for things to fall into your lap, it means staying in a state of relaxed trust. It's about releasing the need to control every little aspect of the process and allowing things to unfold naturally. The universe doesn't work on your timeline, and neither does the manifestation process. But here's the thing, the longer you wait, the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you become the person who can truly handle the success and abundance you're manifesting. In that waiting, things are happening on an energetic level that you might not see right away. Sometimes, all the pieces need to fall into place before things can show up in the way you expect. This patience is particularly important when you're working with manifestation during sleep. When you set the intention for your desires before bed, you're trusting that while your conscious mind is resting, your subconscious is working to align you with your goals. But this process takes time. It's not something that will necessarily be wrapped up in one night's sleep. It's about trusting that while you're resting, your mind is doing the work it needs to do to bring you closer to your dreams. The challenge of consistency and patience is often what causes people to give up too soon. They try manifestation for a short time, don't see immediate results, and then throw in the towel. But real change takes time. It's a journey. By staying consistent, even when you don't see visible evidence of your progress, you're laying the foundation for something much bigger to unfold. Patience doesn't mean passivity, it means maintaining the energy and focus on your goals, regardless of external circumstances. So, remember, manifesting while you sleep, or manifesting anything, is a process. It's not about rushing, it's about trusting and staying consistent. The more you practice, the more naturally it flows, and the more your patience will be rewarded. Keep nurturing your dreams, one small, consistent action at a time, and know that in time, the results will come, often in ways that surprise and delight you. In the last section, let's learn how to convert vision to reality. Do you know that Jacobo Grinberg, a groundbreaking Mexican neuroscientist and psychologist, believed our perception of reality is shaped by our thoughts and beliefs? His teachings reveal how our minds create limitations that block us from achieving our full potential. In this video, we'll delve into Grinberg's revolutionary ideas about consciousness and how they can help you overcome the limiting beliefs holding you back. By understanding his perspective, you'll learn how to rewrite your mental scripts and tap into your true power. Watch till the end to unlock life-changing insights that could transform your mindset and your reality. Number 1. Understand the concept of the holographic mind. Let's talk about the idea of the holographic mind, which Jacobo Grinberg brought into focus through his fascinating work. It's not just another fancy term, it's a whole perspective shift on how you experience and interact with the world around you. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into this one. The holographic mind is like peeling back the layers of reality. Imagine for a moment that your mind isn't just this isolated thing sitting in your skull, processing information like a computer. Instead, it's part of a much larger, interconnected system, like a hologram. A hologram is cool because even the smallest piece of it contains the whole picture. So, when Grinberg talks about the holographic mind, he's saying your mind doesn't just perceive reality, it creates it. Wrap your head around that for a second. It's not just out there, it's in here too. This means that reality isn't as fixed or objective as we like to think. Your mind plays an active role in shaping what you see, hear, feel, everything. Think about it, If your perception of the world is influenced by the beliefs and patterns in your mind, doesn't it make sense that shifting those beliefs could change how you experience reality? That's what Grinberg's teachings push us to explore. It's wild, right? You're not just a passive observer, you're a co-creator. Now, let's get into the juicy part, why this matters. The holographic mind concept isn't just some abstract, philosophical idea. It's a practical tool for overcoming limiting beliefs. Those thoughts that whisper, "You're not good enough," or "You can't do that," they're not written in stone. They're projections, shaped by past experiences, conditioning, and fears. If your mind is like a hologram, you have the power to rewrite those projections. Change the input, and the entire picture shifts. What's even more fascinating is how this idea can make you question what's real and what's just a mental construct. Have you ever had a moment where something you were so sure about, maybe a fear or doubt, suddenly seemed ridiculous once you saw it differently? That's the holographic mind in action. It's like stepping back and realizing the story you've been telling yourself isn't the whole truth. You're seeing the edges of the hologram, where the illusion starts to crack. Grinberg's teachings also highlight how this concept connects with intuition and awareness. If your mind is part of a larger holographic field, then tapping into that field could give you access to insights and wisdom beyond your usual thought patterns. It's like plugging into a universal Wi-Fi network where all the answers are stored. That might sound far out, but think about how often your gut feeling turns out to be right. Maybe it's not magic, it's just you tuning into the bigger picture. So, how do you actually work with this idea? Start by paying attention to your thoughts and beliefs. What stories are you telling yourself about who you are and what's possible for you? Once you become aware of those stories, you can start to question them. Are they true, or are they just old projections from your hologram? It takes practice, but the more you challenge limiting beliefs, the more they start to dissolve. And as they do, your reality begins to shift too. One last thing to keep in mind, the holographic mind is a reminder of your power. You're not stuck in a static world where things are just the way they are. Your perception, your thoughts, your beliefs, they're all part of the dance that creates your experience. When you embrace that, life starts to feel a lot less like a rigid game and more like a fluid, ever-changing masterpiece. That's the beauty of what Grinberg was getting at. You're not a prisoner of your mind, you're its artist. So go ahead and start creating. Number 2, reframe your beliefs with positive affirmations. Let's talk about beliefs. Those pesky little things that sit in the back of your mind, dictating how you see yourself and the world. Ever stop to think about how they got there? Maybe it was something someone said once, a passing comment. Or maybe it's the narrative you've been repeating to yourself for years. Here's the wild thing, those beliefs? They're not set in stone. They're more like clay, malleable, waiting to be reshaped. And that's where positive affirmations come in. If you're familiar with Jacobo Grinberg's work, you know he was all about the interplay between consciousness and reality. He believed that what you hold in your mind shapes the world around you. Sounds pretty trippy, right? But when you break it down, it's not so far-fetched. Your beliefs act like filters, coloring how you interpret events, people, and even yourself. Change the filter, and suddenly, the whole picture looks different. So, how do you go about doing that? One word, affirmations. Now, before you roll your eyes at the idea of staring in the mirror and repeating, "I am successful," hear me out. This isn't just about cheesy lines that make you cringe. It's about choosing words that resonate with you on a gut level, words that challenge the narrative in your head that's been holding you back. Here's the thing, the brain loves repetition. It's like a sponge that soaks up whatever you feed it, whether that's "I'll never be good enough" or "I have everything I need to thrive." And the kicker? Your brain doesn't really care if what you're saying is true or not. If you say it enough, it starts to believe it. That's science, baby, neuroplasticity at work. The more you affirm something, the stronger the neural pathways in your brain become. It's like carving out a new trail in the wilderness. The more you walk it, the clearer it gets. Now, let's tie this back to Grinberg. His teachings often emphasize the idea of transcending limiting patterns, those mental loops that keep you stuck in the same place. Positive affirmations are like a cheat code to break out of those loops. But here's the key, they're not magic words. It's not about mindlessly parroting phrases like a robot. It's about infusing those words with intention, with belief, even if that belief feels shaky at first. Start simple. Pick a belief that's been weighing you down. Maybe it's "I'm not creative," or "I always mess things up." Whatever it is, flip it on its head. Turn "I'm not creative" into "I have endless ideas waiting to flow through me." Turn "I always mess things up" into "I learn and grow from every experience." Notice how these aren't just opposites, they're expansions. They invite possibility. But don't stop there. Get creative with how you integrate affirmations into your life. Say them out loud in the shower. Scribble them on sticky notes and slap them on your bathroom mirror. Whisper them to yourself before bed. Write them down every morning like you're scripting the life you want to live. The point is to surround yourself with these new beliefs until they start to feel like home. Here's a little insider tip. It's okay if affirmations feel awkward at first. In fact, that's a good sign. It means you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, nudging those old beliefs out of the way. Think of it like planting a seed. At first, it's just dirt and water. But give it time, keep tending to it, and one day, you'll see those first little green shoots breaking through. And don't rush the process. Changing beliefs isn't a race, it's a dance. Some days you'll feel like you've got it all figured out, and other days, those old limiting beliefs will try to crash the party. When that happens, be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge the old thought, thank it for whatever purpose it once served, and then reaffirm the new belief. Over time, you'll notice the shift. Not just in your thoughts, but in how you feel, how you act, and how life seems to respond to you. So, if you're ready to reframe your beliefs, start with the ones that feel like they're holding you back the most. Grab those affirmations and let them become your new mental soundtrack. Jacobo Grinberg would probably say you're not just changing your mind, you're changing your reality. And isn't that a pretty powerful thing? Number 3, study and understand the interplay between perception and reality. Let's dive into the fascinating dance between perception and reality, something Jacobo Grinberg explored with an almost childlike curiosity, but with the precision of a scientist. It's not just a mind-bending idea, it's a way of life, a lens through which you can completely flip how you experience the world. Think about this, what you call reality is just your interpretation of what's out there. Sounds wild, right? But let's unpack it. Your brain, this incredible supercomputer, processes everything you see, hear, and feel. But here's the kicker, it doesn't just passively take it all in. Oh no, it's doing its own remix of the raw data. Your beliefs, past experiences, fears, and expectations are like filters on a camera, shaping what gets through and what doesn't. So, in a way, you're not seeing the world as it is. You're seeing the world as you are. This is where Grinberg's ideas get exciting. He believed that our perception is a creative act. Yes, creative. Reality isn't this rigid, unchanging thing that happens to you, it's something you actively participate in. Mind-blowing, isn't it? It's like being the director of a movie and realizing, wait, I get to choose the shots, the angles, the lighting. Once you understand this, the possibilities open up like an endless sky. But let's take a breath here because it's not always as simple as flipping a switch. Your perception is often so entangled with your deep-seated beliefs, those sneaky little stories you tell yourself about what's possible, what's not, who you are, and who you're not. These beliefs? They're like invisible architects, quietly constructing the walls and boundaries of your reality. If you believe the world is hostile, guess what? That's what your brain will highlight for you. It's like your inner Google search bar: type in danger, and it'll bring you every scrap of evidence to support that. Grinberg wasn't just throwing these ideas into the wind. He wanted us to study them. Not just in some academic, nose-in-a-book kind of way, but by living them, observing them in real time. He encouraged us to slow down and notice how our thoughts and emotions color our interactions with the world. Have you ever been in a situation where two people experience the same thing but come away with completely different takeaways? That's perception at work. The event was neutral, but the mind painted it with its own brush. Here's where the rubber meets the road. If you can see that your perception shapes your reality, you can start to tweak it. You're not stuck with the filters you were handed. You can update them, replace them, or sometimes just toss them out altogether. Start paying attention to how you interpret the things happening around you. Is that coworker really being rude, or are you seeing them through the lens of your own insecurities? Is that challenge truly insurmountable, or have you already decided it's impossible before even trying? Grinberg's teachings push us to experiment with perception, to bend it, to stretch it. Ask yourself, what happens if you start looking for evidence of kindness, abundance, or opportunity instead of scarcity and struggle? At first, it might feel like a game, but soon, you'll notice shifts, not because the world changed, but because you did. And in changing your perception, you're subtly, almost imperceptibly, altering your reality. But here's the catch: this is not an overnight transformation. It's not about slapping on a new belief like a fresh coat of paint and calling it a day. It's a practice, an ongoing conversation with yourself and the world. Grinberg's work reminds us that perception is fluid, not fixed. Reality, then, is a dynamic dance, and you're both the choreographer and the dancer. So, the next time you feel stuck or trapped by your circumstances, pause. Take a step back and ask, how am I perceiving this? Is there another way to see it? In that question lies the seed of transformation. You don't just overcome limiting beliefs by smashing through them. You dissolve them by seeing that the walls they built were never as solid as you thought. Now that's the kind of freedom that makes life a whole lot more interesting, don't you think? Number 4, work with energy fields to dissolve mental blocks. Let's dig into something truly mind-bending, working with energy fields to dissolve those pesky mental blocks. If you've ever felt stuck, like you're dragging invisible weights around in your brain, this might be the shift you've been looking for. Jacobo Grinberg's teachings take a deep dive into the unseen realms, the energy layers that surround and permeate everything. Stick with me here, because this isn't as woo-woo as it might sound. Picture this: your mind isn't just confined to your brain. It's more like a ripple, extending out into the universe in ways we can't fully grasp with logic alone. According to Grinberg, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs generate an energy field. It's like your own personal vibe that interacts with the world around you. This field doesn't just sit there passively, it shapes your experiences, your actions, and, yes, even your obstacles. Now imagine that these mental blocks you carry, those nagging doubts and fears, are distortions in this field. The good news? You can smooth those distortions out. So, how do you even begin to work with something as intangible as an energy field? The first step is awareness. Start paying attention to how you feel, not just physically, but energetically. Sounds vague, right? But stick with it. Have you ever walked into a room and felt an immediate shift in your mood, like you could sense something without anyone saying a word? That's you picking up on energy. It's subtle, but it's there. Now, take that same sensitivity and turn it inward. When you think about a limiting belief, how does it feel in your body? Heavy? Tight? Fuzzy? That sensation is a clue, your energy field is speaking to you. Once you've tuned in, it's time to work on shifting the energy. One powerful way to do this is through visualization. Before you roll your eyes, hear me out. Visualization isn't just about imagining pretty pictures in your head, it's about directing your focus. Grinberg believed that your mind's focus could literally influence the structure of your energy field. So, let's say you're holding onto a belief like, "I'm not smart enough." Close your eyes and imagine that belief as a dense, dark knot in your field. Now, picture a warm, glowing light slowly dissolving that knot, like ice melting in the sun. Take your time with it. Feel the heaviness lifting. It sounds simple, but don't underestimate the power of intention combined with focus. Breathwork is another game changer here. Your breath isn't just about keeping you alive, it's a direct line to your energy. When you're stressed or blocked, your breath gets shallow, which can reinforce those mental walls. But when you take deep, intentional breaths, you're essentially resetting your field. Try this. Inhale slowly, imagining fresh, clean energy filling your body. Hold it for a moment, then exhale, picturing all the stuck, stagnant energy leaving you. It's like an energetic detox, and it works wonders for clearing your head. Now, let's talk about the idea of resonance. This is where things get really interesting. Grinberg suggested that your energy field isn't isolated, it interacts with the energy of everything around you. This means that the people, environments, and even thoughts you expose yourself to can either reinforce your blocks or help dissolve them. Surround yourself with positivity, and your field begins to resonate with that frequency. On the flip side, if you're constantly bombarded with negativity, guess what? Your field picks that up too. The takeaway? Be intentional about what you let into your space. Finally, don't forget the importance of patience and playfulness in this process. Energy work isn't about snapping your fingers and watching all your problems disappear. It's a journey, one where subtle shifts add up over time. Approach it with curiosity. Experiment. Maybe one day you'll visualize light, and the next, you'll chant or dance or just sit in stillness. The key is to trust that your energy field knows how to heal, it just needs you to get out of the way and let it do its thing. In the end, working with energy fields isn't about escaping reality, it's about reshaping it. You're not fighting your mental blocks, you're dissolving them, like clouds evaporating under the sun. Grinberg's teachings remind us that the power to transform isn't something outside of you. It's already there, waiting for you to tap into it. So go ahead, start exploring. You might be surprised at how much lighter your mind, and your life, can feel. Number 5, experiment with lucid dreaming as a tool for belief transformation. Let's talk about dreams, not the daydreams or those big life aspirations, but the ones that creep in when your head hits the pillow and your conscious mind takes a back seat. Dreams are wild, aren't they? They don't follow logic. They're strange, fluid, and sometimes a little unnerving. But here's the thing, what if you could take the wheel in that bizarre world? What if you could turn those nightly adventures into a laboratory for reshaping your beliefs? That's where lucid dreaming comes in, and it's a concept that ties beautifully with Jacobo Grinberg's teachings on consciousness and reality. So, what is lucid dreaming, anyway? It's when you're aware that you're dreaming while you're still inside the dream. It's like waking up in the middle of a story and realizing you're the author. Pretty cool, right? But here's the kicker, it's not just about flying around or bending the laws of physics, though, let's be honest, that's fun too. It's about using that awareness to dig deep into the beliefs hiding in your subconscious, the ones that might be shaping your life without you even realizing it. Grinberg's work often emphasized the connection between the mind and the fabric of reality. He suggested that our perceptions and beliefs play a huge role in what we experience. Lucid dreaming takes that idea and runs with it, offering a space where you can bypass the filters of your waking mind and interact directly with those beliefs. Think of it as a backstage pass to your psyche. Now, you might be wondering, how does this work? Am I just supposed to waltz into my dreams and start reprogramming my brain? Well, not exactly. Like anything worthwhile, lucid dreaming takes a bit of practice. Start with the basics, keeping a dream journal, setting an intention before bed, and doing reality checks throughout the day. These little habits help train your brain to recognize when you're dreaming. Once you've got the hang of it, once you find yourself in a dream and realize, oh, I'm dreaming, that's when the magic happens. You can start experimenting. Let's say there's a belief you've been struggling with, like I'm not good enough or I can't handle challenges. In the dream, you might visualize that belief as a character, an object, or even a landscape. Then, you engage with it. Talk to it. Transform it. Maybe you shatter it into a million pieces, or maybe you embrace it and watch it dissolve. The beauty of dreams is that there are no rules. You can approach belief transformation in whatever way feels right to you. But it doesn't stop there. Lucid dreaming isn't just about confronting old beliefs, it's also about planting new ones. Imagine standing in a dreamscape, looking up at a sky filled with stars. You declare, I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to, and you watch as the stars rearrange themselves into those words. You're not just saying it, you're experiencing it in a vivid, emotional way. And that's the key. In dreams, everything feels real, even if it's not. Your brain can't tell the difference, which makes it the perfect playground for rewiring your thoughts. One of the coolest things about using lucid dreams for belief transformation is how personal it is. No two people will experience it the same way. For some, the process might be symbolic and abstract. For others, it might be straightforward and direct. The important part is to approach it with curiosity and a sense of openness. Dreams have a way of surprising you, revealing layers of yourself you didn't even know were there. And let's not forget the deeper connection here. Grinberg believed that our inner world and outer world are reflections of one another. By transforming beliefs in the dream state, you're not just playing around in your subconscious, you're potentially altering the way you interact with waking reality. It's like shifting gears on a fundamental level, creating ripples that extend far beyond the dream itself. So, why not give it a try? Start paying attention to your dreams. Experiment. Get curious. And when you find yourself in that lucid state, remember, you're in control. The dream is yours to shape, and so is the story you tell yourself when you wake up. Number 6, apply the law of coherence to harmonize thoughts, emotions, and actions. Let's talk about coherence, not the boring, technical kind, but the soul-stirring, life-aligning magic Jacobo Grinberg explored. The law of coherence isn't just some abstract concept, it's like the secret recipe for living in sync with yourself. It's that feeling when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all dancing to the same rhythm, instead of stepping on each other's toes. Sound dreamy? It is. And the best part? You can actually make it your reality. Okay, picture this. Your mind is buzzing with a vision of what you want, but your emotions? They're all over the place: fear, doubt, hesitation. And then there's your actions, which might not even get off the starting block because, well, your heart isn't in it. That's what incoherence feels like. It's like trying to row a boat with one paddle going forward and the other backward. Frustrating, right? Now, flip that image. Imagine everything inside you, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, flowing in the same direction. Suddenly, the effort feels effortless. That's coherence. Grinberg's law of coherence invites you to stop and check in with yourself. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And are your actions reflecting those inner currents? Here's the catch. Most of us go about life with these pieces scattered and misaligned. Your mind might be screaming, "Go for it," but your emotions could be whispering, "Not sure this is safe." Or maybe you're caught in a loop of overthinking, and while you're stuck there, your actions fizzle out into nothing. But coherence? Oh, it's different. It's like tuning a musical instrument until the sound is pure and resonant. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions harmonize, it's not just about achieving goals or making progress, though that's a sweet bonus. It's about a deep, almost tangible sense of peace. You stop fighting with yourself. And when you're not fighting yourself, guess what? The world doesn't feel like such a battle either. Now, let's break this down. First, your thoughts. These are like the architects of your reality. They lay the foundation. But here's the thing, thoughts alone don't build anything unless they're backed by emotion. Emotion is the energy, the fuel that gives your thoughts life. Think of it as electricity coursing through a circuit. Without that current, nothing lights up. But emotion without thoughtful direction? That's chaos. It's like a firework exploding in every direction, bright but fleeting. Then there's action. This is where the rubber meets the road. Action is what takes your thoughts and emotions and translates them into something tangible. But if your actions don't match your thoughts or feelings, it's like trying to swim against the tide. It doesn't work, and it leaves you exhausted. So, how do you apply this law? You start by getting honest with yourself. When you think about a goal, how does it feel in your body? Do you feel energized, or do you sense resistance? Pay attention to those signals. If there's resistance, don't bulldoze over it. Explore it. Maybe your thoughts and emotions aren't quite in sync yet, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection. It's alignment. Next, look at your actions. Are they congruent with what you want and how you feel? If you're dreaming of something big but your daily actions don't reflect that dream, you've got some realigning to do. Start small. Take one step, no matter how tiny, that reflects the harmony you're aiming for. One aligned step can build momentum faster than 10 misaligned ones. And here's a little twist Grinberg's work encourages: coherence isn't static. It's not a one-and-done deal. It's a living, breathing process. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are always evolving, and the trick is to stay aware of that dance. When you're out of sync, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means it's time to tune in and adjust. The beauty of this practice is that the more you align yourself, the more the outer world seems to align too. Opportunities start showing up, challenges feel less daunting, and life, in general, feels lighter. But it all starts within. Coherence is the inner symphony that sets the tone for the outer world. So, give it a shot. Pause. Reflect. Ask yourself, are my thoughts, feelings, and actions playing the same tune? If not, what can I tweak to bring them back into harmony? It might take some trial and error, but once you catch the rhythm, you'll wonder how you ever lived out of sync. Number 7. Practice the synchronization of hemispheres for mental clarity. Let's talk about an intriguing practice that Jacobo Grinberg highlighted: the synchronization of hemispheres. Sounds a bit technical, right? Don't worry, it's actually simpler and way more fascinating than it sounds. This idea isn't just about balancing your brain, it's about unleashing the kind of mental clarity that makes you feel like you've stepped out of the fog and into a bright, sunny day. Here's the deal: your brain is made up of two hemispheres, the left and the right. The left is often associated with logic, structure, and analytical thinking. It's the part that loves lists, patterns, and solving puzzles. The right hemisphere? That's where creativity, intuition, and imagination hang out. It's where your dreams live, where music stirs your soul, and where you get those wild, seemingly random flashes of insight. Now, most of us spend a lot of time living in one hemisphere more than the other. Some people are all about that left brain energy, focused, driven, super logical, but they might struggle to think outside the box. Others live in the right brain zone, full of creativity and vision, but without a solid plan to bring those dreams into reality. That's where synchronization comes in. It's not about choosing one over the other, it's about getting both sides to work together, like a perfect duet. When the hemispheres are out of sync, it's like having a tug-of-war in your head. You might feel stuck, indecisive, or overwhelmed by conflicting thoughts. Synchronizing them, on the other hand, creates harmony. It's like flipping a switch. Suddenly, you're not just thinking clearly, you're thinking deeply, expansively, and with purpose. So how do you do it? One of the simplest ways is through practices that engage both hemispheres at the same time. Meditation is a powerful tool here, especially if you focus on balancing your breath. Try this: close your eyes, inhale deeply through your left nostril, blocking the right, then switch and exhale through your right nostril. Repeat on the opposite side. This isn't just about breathing, it's about stimulating both hemispheres of your brain, bringing them into alignment. Movement can also be a game changer. Activities that cross the midline of your body, like stretching one arm to the opposite side or doing certain yoga poses, engage both hemispheres at once. Even something as simple as tapping your left knee with your right hand, then switching, can start the process. It feels almost playful, but don't let that fool you. You're rewiring your brain while you do it. Another powerful way to sync your hemispheres is through visualization. Picture a glowing, golden thread connecting the two sides of your brain. Imagine it weaving back and forth, drawing them closer together until they feel like one unified space. As you do this, let go of any tension in your head. Breathe deeply, letting the light grow brighter. It might feel subtle at first, but over time, you'll notice your thoughts becoming more fluid, your mind sharper and clearer. Sound can also play a big role. Rhythms, binaural beats, or even just listening to calming music can help bridge the gap between your hemispheres. The rhythm draws both sides of your brain into sync, almost like a dance. It's not magic, it's science. The frequencies stimulate neural pathways, helping your brain work as a cohesive unit. When your hemispheres are synchronized, it's like flipping the script on your mental blocks. You stop feeling like your thoughts are pulling you in a dozen directions. Instead, you start to experience a flow, a deep, grounded clarity where ideas come easily and solutions appear naturally. It's not just about thinking more, it's about thinking better. But here's the kicker: this isn't a one-and-done thing. Synchronization is a practice. It's like flexing a muscle or tending a garden, you've got to nurture it regularly. The beauty of this work is that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Your brain starts to recognize the rhythm, the balance, and it slips into sync faster and with less effort. Grinberg's teachings remind us that clarity isn't about silencing your mind. It's about bringing all its pieces together into a harmonious whole. When you practice the synchronization of hemispheres, you're not just clearing mental clutter, you're unlocking the full potential of your mind. It's a dance between logic and creativity, structure and intuition, left and right. And when those two sides come together, the results are nothing short of transformative. Number 8. Explore the field of potentiality through deep trance states. Alright, let's dive into something fascinating: the field of potentiality. If you've explored Jacobo Grinberg's work, you've probably stumbled across this idea. It's the notion that beneath the surface of what we think is real, there's this vast, boundless field of possibility. A place where all outcomes, ideas, and versions of reality coexist, just waiting for us to tap into it. Sounds a bit out there, right? But stick with me. The key to unlocking this field? Deep trance states. Now, when I say trance, I don't mean the cliché image of someone swinging a pocket watch and chanting, "You're getting very sleepy." No. We're talking about something much deeper, much more personal. It's that state where the chatter in your head quiets down, and you feel like you've tapped into something larger than yourself, like you're floating in an ocean of pure potential. Grinberg's teachings suggest that what we perceive as reality is just a projection of our consciousness. In other words, our beliefs, thoughts, and perceptions shape the world we experience. If that's true, then accessing the field of potentiality is like stepping behind the curtain of reality, into the raw materials that make it all up. And deep trance states are the doorway. So, how do you get there? First, let's bust a myth. You don't need to be a monk meditating on a mountaintop to access a deep trance. It's something we all have the capacity for. It's about creating the right conditions, silence, focus, and an open mind. You might start with simple breath work, slowing everything down until the world around you feels distant. Or you could try techniques like progressive relaxation, guiding your body and mind into a place where they're no longer separate, just part of a unified whole. Once you're in that state, something interesting happens. You stop clinging so tightly to your identity, the "I am this, I can't do that" narrative, and begin to feel something else entirely. A sense of vastness, maybe. Or a quiet knowing that your limits are only as real as you've decided they are. In the trance, you're no longer bound by the beliefs that shape your everyday reality. You're free to explore, to imagine, to become. And this is where the magic of the field of potentiality comes in. While in a deep trance, you can start to play with the idea of what's possible. You can visualize yourself living without those limiting beliefs, see it, feel it, breathe it in. It's not about wishful thinking. It's about connecting with the raw energy of possibility, the unshaped clay of existence, and beginning to mold it. Here's the thing, in this state, you're not thinking your way out of limiting beliefs. You're experiencing a reality where they simply don't exist. That's powerful. Your subconscious, which is soaking all of this up like a sponge, doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's vividly imagined. So, when you deeply feel the potential of being free from those beliefs, your mind begins to rewire itself to reflect that. Another cool aspect of this process is how fluid it is. Some people might find themselves seeing vivid imagery, like walking through a landscape of symbols that represent their inner world. Others might feel a sense of expansion, like they're dissolving into a boundless space. However it shows up for you, the point is to stay open, curious, and willing to explore. Now, Grinberg's idea of the field of potentiality isn't just about personal growth, it's about tapping into a shared, universal consciousness. When you're in a deep trance, it's like you're plugging into a network that's bigger than you, a place where ideas, insights, and shifts in perception flow freely. It's humbling and exhilarating all at once. You're not just reshaping yourself, you're engaging with the very fabric of existence. Here's the best part, the more you practice, the easier it gets. Like anything, entering a deep trance is a skill. At first, your mind might resist, tossing up distractions or doubts. But with time, patience, and consistency, you'll find yourself slipping into that state more naturally. And each time, you're strengthening your connection to the field of potentiality, expanding your awareness of what's possible. So, next time you feel stuck, trapped by beliefs that don't serve you, remember this: the field of potentiality is always there, waiting. And through deep trance states, you hold the key to step into it. What you'll discover is entirely up to you. But one thing's for sure, limits? They're optional. Number 9. Use visualization to create new mental patterns. Let's talk about visualization, something Jacobo Grinberg explored with a mix of scientific intrigue and deep spiritual curiosity. It's not just about imagining things for fun, though it can be fun. It's about rewiring your mental patterns, reshaping how you think, and ultimately, how you experience the world. Sounds lofty? Maybe. But when you break it down, it's shockingly simple and incredibly powerful. Here's the deal. Your brain doesn't really care whether something is happening in real life or in your imagination. Weird, right? But think about it. When you vividly picture something, your mind lights up as if it's actually happening. That's why visualization works. It's like you're handing your brain a blueprint and saying, "Here, this is what I want to build." And your brain, being the dutiful architect it is, gets to work, laying down new neural pathways and reinforcing ideas you want to make real. But let's make it personal. Have you ever felt stuck in a loop, like you're living the same patterns over and over again? That's because your mind loves its comfort zone. It clings to the familiar, even if the familiar isn't serving you. Visualization is a way to disrupt that loop. It's like sneaking into the control room of your mind and flipping a few switches. Start by getting clear on what you want to change. Don't just think in vague terms like "I want to be successful" or "I want to feel confident." Nah, go deeper. What does that look like? What does it feel like? When you close your eyes, can you see it? Can you feel it in your body? That's where the magic begins. Grinberg's teachings push you to go beyond surface-level imagery. It's not about slapping a mental picture on top of old beliefs and hoping for the best. It's about engaging all your senses, making the visualization so vivid and real that your mind can't help but start believing it. Picture the details, the colors, the textures, the sounds. How does it feel to step into this new reality? What emotions bubble up? Excitement? Peace? Freedom? Latch onto those feelings because they're the glue that holds the visualization together. And here's the thing, repetition is your secret weapon. Your brain thrives on patterns. The more you revisit a visualization, the more those new neural pathways get reinforced. It's like carving a path through a dense forest. The first time you walk it, it's tough, branches snagging at you, the ground uneven. But keep walking, and that path becomes clear, smooth, easy to follow. That's what you're doing for your mind with visualization. You're blazing a trail for new beliefs, new ways of thinking, and ultimately, new ways of being. But, and this is a big but, don't just visualize passively. Engage with it. Feel it. Act as if. Grinberg wasn't about sitting back and letting things happen to you. He wanted you to actively participate in your reality. When you visualize, don't just see yourself as a character in a movie. Be in the scene. Interact with it. Talk to it. Let it talk back to you. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, skepticism. Maybe a little voice in your head is saying, "This is all just pretend." And yeah, it can feel that way at first. But here's the twist, your mind doesn't need you to fully believe it right away. It just needs you to try. With enough repetition and emotional energy, those doubts will quiet down. Your brain will start to see the new patterns as more real than the old ones. And when that happens, that's when you notice shifts, both inside and out. Here's a pro tip, pair your visualization with a sense of gratitude, even if it feels forced at first. Gratitude is like a booster shot for your mental patterns. When you feel thankful for the thing you're visualizing, as if it's already yours, you're telling your brain, "This is real. This is happening." And your brain? It listens. So, give it a shot. Close your eyes. Imagine. Feel. Repeat. And when those old limiting beliefs try to creep back in, remind yourself, they're just echoes of an outdated program. You're the programmer now, and you've got the tools to write a whole new script. Number 10, identify and confront your limiting beliefs. Let's get real for a second. Limiting beliefs are sneaky little things, aren't they? They hang out in the back of your mind, whispering things like, "You're not good enough," or "That's impossible for someone like you." And the worst part? Half the time, you don't even realize they're there. They're like background noise, a static hum that shapes your thoughts, actions, and decisions without you even noticing. Jacobo Grinberg's teachings challenge you to shine a big, bright spotlight on those beliefs. Because let's face it, you can't overcome what you can't see. So, the first step is to identify them. Sounds easy, right? Except it's not. Limiting beliefs are masters of disguise. They're buried deep, often wrapped up in your habits, excuses, or even the way you justify things to yourself. Start by asking yourself a few simple yet uncomfortable questions. What's holding you back? What's stopping you from going after what you really want? Now, dig deeper. Why? Why do you think that's true? Keep peeling back the layers until you hit that core belief, the one that's been hiding out and calling the shots. It might feel uncomfortable, even a little messy, but that's the point. Growth isn't supposed to feel cozy. Here's an example of what this could look like, and no, not the kind with someone else's story. This is all you. Let's say you've always thought, I'm not creative. Why? Maybe a teacher told you that once. Or maybe you tried something years ago, it didn't work out, and you decided creativity just wasn't your thing. Now, every time an opportunity to be creative pops up, you automatically shut it down. That's your limiting belief in action, shaping your reality. Once you've spotted a limiting belief, it's time to confront it. And no, I don't mean arguing with it in your head or trying to shove it aside. That doesn't work. These beliefs have roots, they're tied to emotions, memories, and patterns. To dismantle them, you need to get curious. Where did this belief come from? Is it something you picked up from someone else, a parent, a friend, society? Or is it something you created as a way to protect yourself from failure or disappointment? Now here's the kicker, is it even true? Most of the time, limiting beliefs crumble the moment you start to question them. They're like shadows, scary until you realize there's nothing solid behind them. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have that this belief is true? And then flip it, what evidence do I have that it's not true? You'll be surprised how quickly your brain starts serving up examples of times you proved that belief wrong, even if you didn't notice it at the moment. But don't stop there. Once you've poked holes in your belief, replace it with something new. Something empowering. Something that feels like the opposite of the limitation you've been carrying around. Take that old thought, I'm not creative, and reframe it. I have creative potential, and I'm learning to tap into it. Notice how that feels. It's lighter, isn't it? It gives you room to grow instead of locking you into a box. Confronting limiting beliefs isn't a one-time thing. These thoughts have been part of your mental furniture for years. They won't just disappear overnight. But the more you challenge them, the weaker they get. And as they lose their grip, you'll start to notice something incredible. The world feels a little bigger, a little brighter, a little more open. Those walls you thought were surrounding you? They were never really there. Grinberg's work reminds us that reality is as much about perception as it is about what's out there. Your beliefs shape your perception, and your perception shapes your experience. By identifying and confronting your limiting beliefs, you're not just changing your thoughts, you're reshaping your reality. It's work that takes courage, patience, and honesty. But the payoff? A life where you're no longer held back by the invisible chains you didn't even know you were carrying. That's the kind of freedom worth fighting for. Thank you for exploring Jacobo Grinberg's profound teachings with me today. Remember, overcoming limiting beliefs starts with recognizing that your reality is shaped by your perceptions, and you have the power to transform them. If this video inspired you, give it a like and share it with someone who's ready to break free from their own mental barriers. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can stay connected to more life-changing insights like these. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one limiting belief you're ready to let go of? Share it in the comments, and let's inspire each other to grow and evolve. Keep questioning, keep expanding, and keep creating the life you deserve. I'll see you in the next video.